Why not? Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And this is a shout out to Sarita. Sarita sent me a lengthy email, basically about her life. And, it's very, very informative. So here we go. Sarita writes, I'm a subscriber on your channel, Loving Life, and I watch it every day. I don't want to be kept anonymous, please. Just to give you a look into our daily lives as a minority citizen in South Africa. We were living in Pretoria, Tshwane, for most of our careers. My husband lost his job after they targeted him for a long time and finally got something to fire him on. He is 55 now. I am 52. We realized that we would not survive financially in Pretoria on my salary alone, and therefore we decided to relocate to the countryside 5 years ago. I resigned my job and we moved to the Eastern Cape, Humansdorp, Jeffreys Bay, with the promise to find work and live in a more peaceful and better life. Well, needless to say, we were awakened by the reality of BEE and could not find work at all. Lots of jobs get advertised, but on applying to them, you just never hear from any of the places you sent your CV to. We had some money, which got us through the tough times, but money does not last forever. We were fortunate through my previous manager in Pretoria, who started her own company and challenged me to work remotely with them by doing all their typing, recruitment, typing candidates, CVs, etc. Then only this year, another previous manager in Pretoria, who also started her own company, asked me to do all her transcriptions for disciplinary hearings. I'm very busy on a daily basis, sitting in my home-based office from 8 a.m. to late, and I realize how fortunate I am. We rent our house, and as most rental houses, it's nothing grand, because owners who rent houses out don't really bother to maintain the houses anymore. Maybe because they don't have the money to keep them maintained. We live in a little suburb just outside Humansdorp, surrounded by farms and black and coloured townships. We have a constant flock of black people trying to get their hands on everything they can steal, from copper pipes on the house to handbags through windows, etc. But our neighbourhood guard and security companies are excellent. We are all on a neighbourhood WhatsApp group, and the moment there is a stranger in the street, everyone knows, and the neighbourhood watches on them to escort them out of the neighbourhood. Should they not work here? A taxi rank opened in this quite mostly white suburb recently, attracting lots of unwanted people, having street races from time to time. We also have non-whites living here, who live in harmony with the rest of us, and who are calm and peaceful in general. When there's load shedding, our neighbourhood guard is patrolling the streets in convoys with flashing lights around our suburb, and in Humansdorp, safeguarding the properties and people. But our daily life, this is my experience, is one of watching the streets, making sure everything is locked and light is on where needed. We also lock ourselves in our bedroom every night. Most households around here these days have a gate in the passage or at the bedroom door to secure ourselves against home invasions. You don't walk in the streets at night, and during the day you preferably walk with your dog or with someone else. I long for the days where you could walk on the beach at night, but that has become very, very dangerous. In our little town, you only go when you really need to, because you are walked over. The other day I was at our local ShopRite, standing in the queue at the till. A coloured lady was standing behind me, with one item in her basket. I told her to go in front of me because I have a trolley with lots of things, and she only had one item. Another black Xhosa lady looked at me funny, and I asked her if she understood what I mean. We will not be affecting her position in the queue. Her reply was in a very rude manner, I don't want to understand anything, I just want to get home. So I just ignored her. When it was my turn to go to the till, after the coloured lady, I gave my spot. This Xhosa woman just pushed in front of me, ignoring me. The coloured people around me just looked at me in shock, with their eyes big and in shock, but you could see that they were all too afraid to say anything. I was in such a state of disbelief after I tried to be kind to another person. I left my trolley just there and left the shop crying. Coming to my car, I couldn't get into the car because my door was blocked by a taxi bus, so I had to wait at the back of my car until they left, whilst tears were still running. A pitch-black Indian guy approached me and asked me what was wrong. I just said it's nothing, and he left. When he came past me again, I was still standing at the back of my car in the parking. He asked again, "Ma'am, what is wrong?" So I told him that something in the shop had upset me. "I'm okay." And his reply to me was, "Ma'am, don't be sad. Ask God to calm you and to forgive them, ma'am. They call me a K, I'm not going to say the word, the Indian word, every day, but I'm not allowed to call them the K word. I ask God to forgive them, and ma'am, when 10 cent lies in the road and all the cars drive over it, the 10 cent does not lose its value. It remains a 10 cent. So, ma'am, remember with God your value does not change. You're still valuable to him." Right there I received the blessing of calmness and left this Indian man with a big hug. Now I drive all the way to Jeffrey's when I need to do my shopping. We are living in tough times, scared of everything around us, trying to stay safe, uncomfortable in my skin. Us as a family has discussed getting our passports ready should we need to in the future. My sister has 2 small children, and she is constantly anxious, as she says she doesn't know what's going to happen in our country. She said she feels like we don't belong here. It's not our country. They consider immigration, but her husband still tries to cling on to their lives here in the hope that things will get better, and his mother is an old lady. My sister also wants a better future for her children growing up. It's difficult, as not all of us are in a position to immigrate. It's costly and we don't have the money. My mother is constantly depressed and anxious, so I try to keep the news from her when she visits me. Living cost is becoming increasingly worse. Food is expensive, especially with the rising fuel. Food prices go up, but don't come down when fuel prices drop. Fuel is expensive. Electricity is becoming almost unaffordable for us. You can buy 100 Rand units and get only 25 units for it. 25 units of electricity lasts you for 2 days, only me and my husband in the household. Now we have a municipal bill of 3,000 Rand for 1 month, 2 people, and they can't sort it out. We used to have a medical aid, but now we can't afford that either. I'm on chronic meds for diabetes and high blood pressure, so I have to go to the government clinic. I just hope and pray that I don't need the hospital ever. We're sitting dogs waiting for the storm. So Scott, keep up the good work so that people know that we are really in hot water in South Africa. I'm a believer and I pray to God that this situation will be resolved, but things are not looking good. This is our country and we are paying the price for wrongdoings of the apartheid era. I will never forget how my dad raised us, not to look down on other people because of the colour of their skin, to respect all people. He was very against apartheid years and always treated people with respect in his work. He passed away years ago, and I wonder what he would have said, seeing things as it is now. And she signs off by saying, wishing you a lovely day. Well, Sarita, thank you so much for your beautiful email. And look, my advice to you, please get your passports. You don't have to use them, but just make sure you have got a passport, you and your husband, and your sister and her kids and her husband. Just have them ready. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, ring the bell for updates, and have a great evening.